The age-old gamer question. Who should I main? In a game that has so many diverse characters, that can be a tough question to answer. Hi everyone, welcome to Supervive 101, a series where we will be breaking down everything you need to know about the game Supervive, formerly Project Loki. In today's video, we're going to be covering hunters, aka the characters that you can play as in the game. We'll discuss the different classes, as well as what you should consider when picking who you want to use. As well, if you want to see this game succeed, please go add it to your wish list on Steam. The more people that do that, the more visibility it gets, the more likely this game is to thrive and survive. At the time of this recording, there are currently 5 classes containing 16 hunters total, with more tease for the near future. If you're just starting out, you won't have every hunter unlocked, however the game will give you about 5 to choose from, and it will also give you a recommended hunter. Recommended meaning probably easier to use if you're just starting out, although it's just a suggestion. The current classes are Fighter, Initiator, Frontliner, Protector, and Controller. Fighters focus primarily on damage over time, and slightly less so on crowd control. Initiators either dash into opponents and crowd control them, or pull opponents into your team in the case of Kingpin. Frontliners are your tanks. Protectors are your healing and support classes. Don't worry, they still do decent damage. And controllers focus on crowd control, or making a certain place unplayable if you get too close to it. So how should you pick your main? You'll hear me say this a lot, but go into practice mode before jumping into a game and become familiar with 1 or 2 hunters. I'm not going to do any character-specific guides because there's so many out there made by some phenomenal players. However, I will give a brief description of each one so you can have an idea of who you may want to try out if you're limited on playtime. Brall. Brall is a highly mobile melee specialist who is at his best when he's up close and personal. His range attacks may be limited, but at a higher than average health pool and great mobility tools, it helps him get exactly where he wants to be, in your face. Ghost is a medium range shooter who utilizes a stun grenade to do more damage and lock down enemies. A balanced aggression keeps Ghost dealing damage and denying space to enemy teams. Jin, formerly Stalker, is a rogue-style hunter who can teleport with a dagger and uses deception and precision to engage unsuspecting foes. Be careful of splitting off from the team when there's an enemy Jin nearby. Joule. Joule is fast. Joule applies lightning stacks to opponents with her left mouse button, and then once enough are built up, she dashes through people, dealing significant damage. If Joule is on the screen, then you're in her range. Myth is an archer who can deal heavy damage with charged up shots. Her dash can also go through solid objects when needing escape options. She's elusive, hits like a truck, and can definitely turn a fight with a couple of hits. Empowered shots and a relentless pursuit define the subterfuge specialist, Shiv, who can approach quickly with a teleport and punish all nearby foes. She's at her best when she's in the mix of fights. Shrike is a long-range sniper who also hits like a truck. Her left mouse button takes a bit to load up each shot though. After hitting an opponent, they become what's known as marked for a short duration, and if she hits them a second time, it deals massive damage. She has tools to disengage from enemies that get too close, and an ability to scout ahead. Bishop is a short-ranged initiator who can dive in and specializes in punching enemies. If she lands a charged up punch and the enemy hits a wall, then it deals massive damage to anyone around and will stun opponents. Kingpin has the ability to cast a hook and pull enemies or allies towards him. This allows your team to turn any fight into a 4v3 by immediately eliminating one of the opponents. He also has a stun that can spike enemies into the abyss. Felix is a tank who uses a flamethrower. All of his moves apply stacks of ignite which deal damage over time. He's mobile and likes to dive into enemies and pull people in, making them susceptible to your teammates' follow-ups. Oath's heavy shield protects himself and his teammates from harm, and his healing will help sustain in long fights. In true paladin form, he can also dish out damage, as well he can block it with a hammer that hits hard when swung. Elluna the Bunny, a healer who has a unique ability to pick up teammates in wisp form and run with them while they begin reviving. If you're not familiar with what a wisp is or reviving, then I recommend you check out this video before jumping into games. She's a great healer, very mobile, and could help keep you alive during a big fight. Zeph is also a healer with the ability to dash teammates into a fight or away from one if things get too hectic. His stun grenade provides CC, and his ultimate can heal teammates while hurting opponents. Celeste the Ice Queen, an all-rounder who excels at taking space for her team and initiating fights with her wall and her ultimate. High mobility that is also highly committal, Celeste rewards careful, calculated team play while also excelling in aerial combat more than most hunters. Hudson, formerly Gunner, is a space controller who funnels fights into his preference with a minigun full of bullets and placeable traps. His abilities focus on keeping the stream of bullets going for longer and making them hit harder. He punishes anyone who would dare to dive too close to your team. Remember, he's not trapped in there with you, you're trapped in there with him. The Arcane Master Void floats across the map, teleporting his allies and enemies alike, and then locking down foes with vortex abilities that inflict maximum pain. His ultimate move, Black Hole, will pull in anyone that gets caught and leave them helpless while your teammates pounce on them. Theorycraft Games have already stated that they plan on releasing more and more hunters as the game develops. As you play, remember that it's okay to try different hunters so you can figure out which ones you have the most fun with. You can also read about them on the hunter screen or on the wiki if it's during a time when the game is not open to play. I'll have a link for that in the description below. And that about wraps it up for the hunter selection. If you have any questions or notice anything I missed, please be sure to leave a comment so I can correct it. As well, if there's any topics you'd like me to cover, just let me know. If you like this content, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching, have fun in the matches, and as always, just keep vibing. Got him!
Yes.
I can't believe we won that refight.